there.
We're going to add us to the stream.
Our view's a little bit
Let's
fuzzy
see, there
this morning.
Well, it's probably because we're outside this morning.
Yeah. But we're here.
And we are here and figure we give y'all a different view today.
Well, kind of more selfish me, a different view. Sometimes I get tired of being stuck in the office area of our house, and this is like my favorite time of day when it's outside and it's peaceful. The bugs aren't out yet.
I got to remember to not bump the table because this table can get a little wobbly with the computer. So
I'm gonna jump on here. I almost hate when these things get started because I feel like somebody should be talking back to me.
Yeah,
they're not on yet.
We got Jesse and Lisa in here this morning. Good morning, Jesse.
Let's see.
And Lisa. I don't know if Lisa's in here or not, but I know Jesse usually is. And we got Annette over at Annie's Kitchen and Urban Homestead.
Oh, I don't think I can do it on my phone. It has to be on a computer. I was gonna see.
Gulf Coast Urban Farm with Dolores. Good morning. That's a new one. I have not seen them before. So good morning. Thanks for coming in.
So we're going to do, at some point again, we're going to have guests that we have on here. But we really enjoy doing the kind of open panel chat. And, you know, it always ends up revolving around what's going on our homestead and your homestead and what everybody's growing and things we're learning. So it always ends up being a real enjoyable thing, but it helps us to get to know others better and kind of do more of a face-to-face. Glenn and I are more social people than just sitting and looking at ourselves talking. Nancy is on there. So now you won't see my dad popping in the background because he's in the Philippines with Nancy. So that's really weird. Every time we talk to them, I'm like, oh, you're usually here and she's there. Now we're here and you're there. So I'm going to post our...
I'm going to say good morning to
link here.
Chuck. We got Chuck in here over at Life with Belinda and Chuck. Got Byron at 12 Stones Ranch in here down in Texas.
Hey, Dad.
Another Texan down in there.
Hey, I'm a little frustrated. You didn't call me, which would have been my last night, and you're...
She's not talking to me.
Morning.
She's talking to her dad, Tim.
So in the Philippines... They are 13 hours ahead of us. So bizarre. So like right now we're just getting our day started and they're fixing to go to bed. Let's see what it's 9. So it's 10 o'clock at night for them.
You don't have our list out here for names either.
Well, sorry.
I forgot it. So
we don't have to, we can't sit here and good morning, hello for 15, 20, 30 minutes. No, because nobody wants to watch
us. I can do it real quick.
That's annoying.
So we got Mitchell in here.
It's annoying. Nobody has time. Chris and I just talked about this the other day. Nobody has time to sit and listen to all the good mornings. I love every bit of opportunity that people have given us and support. And good morning to you all. And we'll try and shout out names. We just aren't going to sit and do,
speaking of Chris,
the whole time of shouting outs. But so anyways, my dad usually will call us in the evenings because it's when they're getting up. So usually around like 7 o'clock our time. Around 8 their time in the morning, and he did not call yesterday.
Well, they were having their Monsoon date last night, so
they celebrate
30th month together.
I don't care what they were celebrating. He's been gone for 2 weeks, and he didn't call.
You're in trouble, Diddy. You're in trouble.
All right. Did I post that? I copied it.
Yeah, the link is up there.
I don't know if I posted it.
So we had
here we go.
Kittens again last night, I guess. We haven't found them yet, but the cat that had the kittens last time in the nesting box in the chicken coop come running in the house this morning, and belly's nice and flat, not fat anymore.
It's so like swaying back and forth.
She had kittens somewheres again, and she's the one who's not a good mother. At least she wasn't the last time.
Well,
she basically abandoned her kittens, and the other cat took them.
You brought up a good point, though.
So
it may have been, and I hate to admit this, but it may have been my fault. So when she had the kittens, they were in the chicken coop in a nesting box. And on top of that, it was
maybe in the wall.
Yeah,
again.
That was the other cat, and she is the good mom. She actually stole the other cat's babies and raised all of them. But this one had hers in the nesting box last time, and it was at the end of the day, so we have an automatic chicken door, so it's getting ready to close. Mom's out of the chicken coop. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to work out. She's going to get locked out of the chicken coop because she's obviously had her babies and running to get something to eat. And these chickens are going to eat the little kittens. Like, that's not going to work out. So we moved them. I put them in a little box, just like we did the wall cat. And that was fine, except I don't know if she just had no intention of raising them or if she got angry that I moved them, but she didn't fight for them. The other cat, literally, I had to like push her off. She came to the other little box of hay that I got for these kittens in a whole different room and stole them. She picked them up and took them.
Sunfish says, hey there, I like the Royal shirt, even though they suck right now. I grew up in Kansas City.
Listen, anybody who knows Kansas City sports knows this. You're not a Kansas City sports fan because you have amazing teams. You're only a Kansas City sports fan because you live here, and occasionally they will do good, and then everybody's
You're shaking
sorry,
the
I like my feet up. Then everybody is all of a sudden a diehard Kansas City sports fan.
Yeah.
And that happens every few years. Maybe.
I'm a diehard Shields fan. They never suck.
Listen, I probably bought this shirt when the Royals were going to the World Series.
Yeah.
But I've always had a few Royals and Chiefs shirts just because we live here.
Jessica doesn't like it, but I'm going to do it because we've had a few more people pop in. But we got Nick in here with AZ Highland Homestead.
You're going to lose, Chris. Chris and I have already discussed
Nick.
this. We hate this.
Dale over at 9 Acres
If
Family
you had
Farm.
a microphone, I would mute you.
Cottonwood Ranch. They're all in here. Homestead Love up in Iowa.
Anybody else want to shout out? We'll sit here
Cody,
for the next 20 minutes while Glenn does this.
Sunfish King.
Chris,
Yeah, they're all in here.
You've got to jump in here and tell them this is ridiculous.
Got Raquel at Cottonwood Ranch.
Yes, we are in the Kansas City area. We're actually, gosh, we used to say 30 miles south of Kansas City, but then we moved. So what are we about an hour? Are we about an hour away from Kansas City?
We're about 45 minutes south of Kansas City.
Nick, bail me out. Tell me that he's being ridiculous.
No, I'm with you, Glenn. Yeah, Shields all the way. I'm Team Shields today.
I'm not talking about the Shields. I'm talking about the hour-long shout-out.
Oh, no. I appreciate you shouting me out, Glenn. Lately, for some reason,
shout out when you're in there.
For some reason, it seems like when I've been saying hello to people in chats lately, people haven't been seeing my message or they just kind of glaze over it. So I want to give you two thumbs up, Glenn. Good job.
Yeah.
Well, that's awfully rude. Hey, Nick, now you do need that kind of shout out.
See, I like giving the shout outs. I don't want to stick on them forever and keep doing it, but I like letting, shouting everybody out as they come in, and at least everybody can hear their name if they don't see them in the chat or something. It's just nice to get a shout out every once in a while.
Huh, look at that.
Rock Ridge
Sunfish King says, I am in Springfield, Missouri right now, but I grew up in Raymore, Missouri. That's funny. So I grew up in Peculiar and went to Ray Peck. So we were like almost neighbors there, south of Granby. I know exactly where it is. In fact, I had a minute of my life where I lived in Raymore, but 90% of my life was Peculiar until we moved to Adrian.
We work in Raymore a lot.
So have you watched Sunfish King? This is a newer name for me, but again, everybody knows I'm not on YouTube as much.
They were a newer family member as of this morning.
Huh. Graduated Ray Peck in 2014. Now you need to leave my chat because this is the first time that somebody has ever had a graduation date after mine. I'm always the baby, and you have surpassed me.
So Nick, how's Arizona?
Darn.
You guys getting any rain yet?
Yes, sir. Thank you for asking. It rained on us hard last night at our pedal ministry men's fellowship bike ride, and we actually had to hang out underneath a trailhead sign for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we got to ride the trails, and it was amazing. It hasn't rained here in a long time, and now we finally got about half inch of rain last night. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That'll help the garden out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Danielle's looking real forward to going and checking out that garden this morning. It's 7 a.m. here, so she's going to be out there pretty quick now. How's your garden over there? How's everything going? I saw the loofah arch, the loofah and cucumber arch. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's doing good. I actually have a video that we're going to upload. I wanted Glenn to watch it before it's uploaded, but it's still private. Like I have to hit that make public button for it to go. But So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, because we have noticed our zucchini is, in our opinion, doing phenomenal. Like, they look like elephant ears. They're huge, but they have squash bugs. And so we did the diatomaceous earth, and as much as I love my diatomaceous earth, it's not knocking the squash bugs out. Away. So we've started doing soapy water, and I have noticed that the couple of times I've done it, I did it today, did it again. There were definitely less squash bugs the second time than the first time. But does anybody have some fantastic remedy that gets rid of the squash bugs?
Other than going in there and picking them off and squishing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't help you there. We had blister beetles on our squash, and I think that they're eating the blossom ends of the squash once they're formed, the small tiny squash when they're just an inch or two long. And I don't know how to get rid of. Do you guys have blister beetles over there?
Not that I know.
I don't know what a blister beetle is.
If we do, I haven't.
If we do, it's called something else here.
Right. Weird. I gotta know how you found us. Like, there's never anybody. We have made friends in this community that are like light years away.
Forever away from us.
Not that graduated
Arizona.
High school.
Yep.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah, Arizona.
But I am still mad that it was 6 years after me. That's frustrating. I'm always the baby, and now things are changing.
Get ready, Jess. It just gets worse.
Getting old kind of sucks when you start having younger people come around.
Chris says blister beetles are horrible.
Where is she? There it is.
Right there.
What? Oh, Chuck.
Flamethrower.
I am so glad Hunter's at Waits and they're not like sitting in a class on this, because he would have been like, yeah, we got to do that. Mr. Chuck said to.
Well, if that has anything to do with Chuck's last video that he made when he was doing his messy garden tour and he was pulling his zucchini or squash plants because they were dead, I wonder if he flamed through his squash plants.
Yeah, Hunter's the one that's like Mike Caleb, I think, right? He likes to trap everything and skin everything, and
check that out.
The sticker on Cody's freezer.
You deserve a shout out, Cody.
Oh yeah, Cody's been putting up everybody's stickers he's been getting lately.
Yep.
Speaking of stickers, did I send you a sticker, Nick?
Probably not.
I don't think so. I don't think I've gotten it. If you have,
I think you're on my list, but I don't think you were in our live stream last week or 2 weeks ago. We missed last week when we were doing the whole sticker shout out, like send me your email or your address. So if you want to email me your address, we'll send you a sticker. But I sent out, I don't know, 10 of them.
Nice.
And I said I would get it to the thing that day, the post office. It was a good 4 days.
Chuck says, "Who's hog deer?"
Oh, no, that's rude, Chuck. So your garden looked, and now it's been a minute since you did a garden update, Nick, but your garden looked phenomenal. So now that you guys are getting all your rain, it's just going to look even better, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, July and August are the amazing times here for our garden. It just, with the monsoons, it just blows up. Hey, Dale.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, this is the first time anybody's ever had to look up to me.
Just a little porch talk.
Yeah.
I'm always the short one too, so it's kind of nice you have to look up.
And obviously, you're a little bit hurt that you're not the youngest here today.
She's a little offended.
Man, start my day off with offense. It's just a new line to be walking, guys. My whole life. Glenn and I have 7 years difference. So, like, the whole time we've been married, anybody we hang out with has always been more his age. And
7 years to the wise.
I just usually don't announce my age, because then they're like, then I get to hear all of it. And
Dale, what
it's
happened
the
to your
first time
face?
that we have somebody much younger than me. It's a bummer.
He's saying because I trimmed up my...
I'd say it used to be a little longer, Dale.
It did.
So
it's getting annoying.
Do we have blister beetles in our area?
Yeah.
Say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Correction, we have blister beetles.
So I'll have to look it up and see what a blister beetle is. But
I was going to say, I have tried this before and it did work, was flour. like dust it with flour like you do 7 dust, except for not using 7 dust.
With flour?
With regular flour.
I can do that.
Because they can't process flour, and you'll actually go out there and they'll just be blown up. I did it years ago, and it did work.
Okay,
Yeah, who knew that beetles were not gluten free? They're just they got problems with gluten, huh?
They can't handle the flour. That's
I know
funny.
people like that.
A little bit more.
And the nice thing about it is when you water, if you're doing it early in the morning and everything, you can just wash it off your leaves and then reapply again,
That is a good idea. So like the bigger ones, I'm like a little mean out there. I like spray them with the soapy water, and then I grab the big ones and squash them. But the hard part is that there's eggs everywhere. So like I try and douse them with the spray and scrape them off. But I mean, they have something sticky in there. Like I'm like ripping leaves to scrape them off.
So Byron, that's what she is trying right now, is a dish soap solution.
And it is working. I definitely feel like
slow.
it's working. I just didn't know if there was something else that I should do that's better. We haven't dealt with a lot of pests because honestly, we had a couple small gardens in our past, but last year was our first adult size garden.
Mm-hmm.
And this year it has things in it that it didn't have last year because we got to actually plant it out this year.
Joe over at Wisdom from Above is asking, does he get them now? Not sure.
What?
Not sure what he's asking. Does he get them?
I don't know. Maybe about the blister beetles. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that there are certain bugs in the garden that are good, that will eat the bad bugs, and certain bugs in the garden that are bad. But it's all been a learning process for us. So.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught my comment, Laura Ingalls, Jess.
I didn't. Did I miss it?
I'm forever a Royal.
There you go.
Win, lose, or draw.
There's not many. Everybody's die hard when they're rocking and then fall off the bandwagon and trash talk them when they are playing.
See, you were probably, yeah. I was a kid when the Royals were like in the World Series in the 80s. So from that point on, I've always been like a Royal fan.
I'll just say in the 80s, I wasn't born yet, Dale. I could rub it in now because we have, I don't even know his name. Sunfish King. I don't know your first name. We have Ray Pet Grad in here that is younger than me. So I can say I wasn't born yet.
Yeah. You know what's really bad to me is I'm teaching students right now who were born after my kids.
Oh,
so that makes me feel really old.
Yeah.
And they're like young adults.
Yeah, I bet. You just have to embrace it. I mean, the fact of the matter is we're all growing older. Just grow with it and learn things. And first name is, I'm not even going to try that.
Is it
Kieran?
Kieran?
We don't
Kieran.
pronounce names on here that are anything out of Joe, Bob, George, anything like that.
Hey, Tony over at Kettle Kitchen.
It turns into trouble.
Thanks for that, Nana.
What?
Nana's older than me, and she's in here saying I am old.
Oh, well, that's just not
He
very
said
nice.
he used flour to kill the squash bugs.
Yeah.
Years ago he did that. Wonder if he still has. Do you still get squash bugs anymore, Dale, after using the flour?
Well, new place. That was like 10 years ago. And we haven't had a big problem with squash bugs at the new place at the 9 where we moved now. We don't see a lot.
9 acres in here.
This is what I read about squash bugs.
Nana says you're old, Dale.
So I read that squash bugs, the mature ones, can actually go into the ground and overwinter. And so obviously that's another reason it's good to rotate your crops. But I mean, I've been getting that soapy water. I've been spraying the root system, like the water area where we would water them, spraying all the leaves, all of that stuff. But yeah, the fact that they can overwinter, I wonder if the flour would if I get them under control with the soapy water, the flour, whatever works at this point now, if they wouldn't have an opportunity to overwinter.
See, I've always been scared of the soapy water thing because, you know, some people use soapy water as a weed killer. So that always kind of scared me a little bit.
Ours is more of a natural soap.
Not that one.
No, not this one.
My natural soap container
Hey, crazy crafter
is
adventures.
a decoy. I've been refilling it with that Ajax stuff. I ran out.
Audio City's in here, Nick.
Audio City, yeah. Audacity Donnie.
Hey, Uncle G.
There's some close people to us. They're down around Nevada, Missouri. So they're close to us.
So, Nick, your garden, you guys have started your monsoon season. We're well past any late frost with you guys finally. How long will this monsoon season last? And in monsoon season, do you even have to water your garden, or do you guys get enough? Is it like our spring where you're getting enough rain regularly?
Those are great questions, Jess. So the monsoon season differs every year, but mostly it starts right after the 1st of July and it goes through about the end of August, beginning of September. So we get a good couple months of every day, like clockwork. Usually the clouds build and build and build, and then they dump around 2 to 4 p.m. and then they're done usually, and they're, you know, thunderstorms. And it's pretty awesome. I have talked to a lot of people who've lived here for a long time that say that they don't plant a garden until June, and then June everything's growing, it's starting off right. They're hand watering the seedlings and stuff, and then they just leave it alone. They just let it go until it's time to harvest, and they don't ever water it again. That's not the case for us. We drip irrigate everything, and then we don't if we get a monsoon. So we'll wait right now. Like we got one yesterday, like I talked about, 1/2 inch this week so far. So yeah, we won't be watering this week if we keep getting them. Let's see, what else? You asked another part of that question, and I don't remember what it was.
So, well, you said, I asked how long it lasts, which it sounds to me kind of like it's like our spring, where we get a lot of rain and thunderstorms and that kind of thing on the regular. Other than the fact that our spring will still bring an occasional snowstorm or cold weather that obviously your monsoon season isn't going to. But I'd asked if you guys still have to water, or if mostly you're getting it from, you know, the Lord rather than the hose. Yeah.
Usually we don't have to water again until September. But you never know. Some seasons it's really dry, and some seasons it's really actually too wet. Sometimes one day we got, I think it was 4 inches of rain in an afternoon, and so everything was flooded. And that's all right because it drains well here, but it's still a lot of water to deal with, and we get erosion and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
So real quick, I'm just going to say Sunfish. I'm sorry. I'm going to butcher your name. I just know it. How many Missouri folks are in here? So my dad is in here, but currently he is visiting in the Philippines, but he lives here with us, but he is in the chat as well. I don't know, it's probably Joe, but it could be my aunt. My aunt and uncle usually watch.
Joe or Diane, but wisdom from above.
They're from Missouri that's in here. Dale with 9 acres is not from Missouri, but anybody who's in Missouri in our area knows that like the Kansas-Missouri border, you're like close enough to be, still local to us.
And
Currently where I'm setting, I'm under 5 minutes away from Missouri.
I thought you were going to say from us. I was going to ask if you was across the highway. So we met Dale, and obviously if you can tell, he's wearing all the John Deere stuff. He visits regularly or often, anyhow, the John Deere dealership that is literally like if I threw a baseball hard enough from our house, could probably land it in their parking lot. And so it's funny that we met each other through YouTube, which, mind you, on YouTube, we have people all the way in Australia and Philippines, obviously with Nancy and everywhere else. And then we find somebody that we meet in person that visits a stone's throw from our house regularly
Rock
for work.
Ridge is
It's
in
crazy.
KC
See, I need to be writing these down. All these Kansas City people, we need to do some type of like a.
We're working on it.
No, I mean like a lunch or something. Like a lunch.
Yeah, we need to talk at some point
What?
again.
It cut out.
He said we
Yeah.
need to talk at some point again.
Talk to Glenn. He's the one who gets his like gears turned in about all this kind of stuff.
Crazy Crafters
And me,
in Nixa,
I'm like,
Missouri.
give me a job
right where that
and I
is?
can run with the job. But starting from the ground up. Okay, so
Hey, Robertson
Sunfish
Belly Acres.
is from our area. Did you say Crazy Crafter?
Yeah, Crazy Crafter. They're in Nixa, Missouri, so they're
Oh
just
yeah,
down
that
by
is
Spring.
close. Yeah,
They're down by
I think we've talked
Springfield.
about that one before.
We met Addie from Crazy Crafter at Shoot Dang.
Okay.
And
That's funny. You go all the way out there and meet somebody that's from.
yeah,
Jan, she's not in here. It's simply Jan, but she's from down around Springfield too, I think.
And you said Rock.
Rock Ridge is KC Mo.
But I thought Rock Ridge was the one that was. Maybe
Homestead Love's about 5 hours from us. She's up in Iowa.
Who is the one? I don't know if
Hey,
Nick
Cindy.
should know and Dale should know. It was a few weeks ago on our live that we had some. I thought it was Rock Ridge. They came in and they basically weren't they living out of a camper of some sort? I thought it was Arizona. people.
I think that was Jamie over at
It was a
oh
rock type name.
yeah, I can't think of the name of his channel now. Doggone it. It was Jamie, but they're out in Arizona too.
Yeah, obviously not Rock Ridge because they just said they're from Kansas City, but it was a name like that too.
Rock Ridge says they go by my place a lot.
Jesse will know who it is.
Oh, look.
Yeah, I didn't say Cindy or Gary. I assume it's Cindy at Pathways jumped in here and says hello. I would guess it's Cindy. Gary's probably not in a live stream at the cabinet shop. Might saw his finger off or something.
Yeah,
doing
that's
something.
a good way to get yourself fired. So, Nick, how do you like your drip irrigation system?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Because so
what do I
far I'm
hate?
on the love part.
What do I hate about it? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, because so far I'm in love with ours. So tell me what's coming.
Well, when it freezes, we have to be on it and we have to drain the whole thing. And then a lot of times it needs to be irrigated the very next day. So we drain out all the lines and then we have to redo it or we have to water by hand or whatever. And I'm not into that. But then again, that's a pretty small period of time because our plants will freeze too. So we don't. There we go. Our Rocky Dream, huh?
Yep, that's who it was. Jamie at Our Rocky Dream.
Yeah,
Thank you. I know it was something rock.
Yeah, they are about 3 hours drive from us, I believe, to the west. So not too far away. They're in the next county over to the west of us. But yeah, I couldn't remember who you were talking about either. I can barely remember the questions you're asking me. But
I knew who I was thinking of because he was trying to get it on our live that one time, and he just didn't have very good service. He couldn't stay on.
Yeah. The drip irrigation's great, Jess. I mean, there's a few things, but we have really hard water here too. So the hard water can clog up the emitters, and there's other things too. Our system's not perfect. I'd love to make it better and actually do some real plumbing and irrigation stuff. Right now we have a hose that connects to the manifold I made to go to each of the zones. So connecting the hose and kind of having it in the way instead of, underground piping all the way there is a little bit more of a hassle and ugly, but it suits us well right now. And the idea for that was that we could do a bunch of different things and it's more temporary, but yeah, what have you had any struggles with your drip?
Well, not yet, but this is our first season. So last year, for anybody who knows our story, our garden went in quick, because when we put in our garden, we didn't actually own this place, and they were gracious enough to allow us to start working on it. So we actually had the drip system last year, but it was still in a box. So it doesn't work when it's still in the box, apparently.
Yeah.
But Glenn got it all set out this year, and that was definitely his project, not mine. And it seemed to go really quick and easy, and we like it so far. I think the easiest, most beautiful thing about it is that last year when we watered, we had some sprinklers set up, which did most of the garden, but then you also had to go back in and hit some of it by hand. And it's just, watering is a tedious task that takes a long time. And obviously, like anybody in here probably knows, you can't just do it when you have free time. Like you can't just go out there at lunchtime and hit the garden with water. And so it's nice to be able to literally hook up a hose, turn on the spigot, and just let it go. And then I have this problem where I forget to turn hoses off.
Oh,
and,
we do that. Yeah.
With the drip system, it's not like, well, there went $500 of water. It's just,
She'll run the well dry because she'll leave a hose on.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a long time.
Our well is not that deep though. Our well is only about, it holds generally any given time, there's about 8 feet of water in it. And our well is only about 5 to 6 foot diameter. It's not a real deep well. So it doesn't have like a ton of water in it, but it's enough to water everything, and it stays full. I mean, it fills back up pretty quick, but she can run it dry.
Well, it's not a big issue out here, but where we moved from,
hey, Drusha.
Their water literally, I think, was gold coming out of the spigots because that's what we paid for it. And so there was a couple times when I would go out to our property that we didn't live on and turn on the horse water. And then I would go to mucking and feeding the horses, and I would jump in my car and go. And I'd come the next day to take care of the horses, and the water's still going, and it's flooded everything. And I'm like, well, there was literally probably $500 worth of water that I just soaked into the earth for nothing. So I like the system saves me.
Yeah. So I have 2 questions now. You guys don't have horses now, right?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Praise the Lord.
No, we bought our horses. We bought our horses a year and a half and love them dearly. But the fact of the matter is, unless you have a reason to have horses, they're a big expense. And we're fine with that, knowing that we were only buying them as a pleasure animal. But the reality is we have 3 boys, and we run a business and have things here that we do. And they just weren't getting rode enough. So spending the money that we were to just look out the window and enjoy seeing them was kind of silly. So we sold them.
And
it still breaks my heart. But apparently I'm the only one grieving.
Horses cost a lot of money.
They do. What did we figure out they were costing us for our setup? Not
in the
everybody.
winter time, well, obviously is the most expensive time because we don't have enough pasture to just let them pasture in the winter. We have to hay them all winter long. So it was costing us anywhere from $400 to $500 a month in the winter months just to have them, because they go through, a square bale of brome, which is what we feed them up here. A square bale of brome is about $7 a bale right now. $6-7 a bale. So they were eating a bale a day in the winter months between the 2 horses. So you figure a bale a day, 7 times 30 just for hay.
I think we figured it was like $500 a month or something.
Yeah.
Now my aunt and uncle, they have horses, but they also have a setup where they can hay their own pasture. So the only expense that they're having is the food. They're able to, like the grains and stuff, they're able to hay their horses with theirs. But
I don't know if y'all are ready for this or not, but here comes the energy.
Energy.
Hey, Chris.
I don't even have energy hair yet this morning. It's only 7:30.
So you probably know the answer to this, one of you two. I'm not even going to profess to be a seasoned gardener, so I'm going to pass the mic. Can you eat the leaves of a broccoli plant?
Yes. And they taste really good when you fill them with like meats and cheeses and roll them and bake them.
Of course you would know things like that.
Yep.
See? That's just why it's
say,
awesome people on the panel.
I wanted to comment on your baling, your prices of alfalfa and things.
It's so cheap.
Oh my gosh. I would love to spend $7 a bale.
Well, that's the brome. the brome hay is $6 a bale is what we were paying, and
That was last year.
alfalfa is $8 is what we pay
Oh
for a
my
bale of
gosh,
alfalfa.
I just got a smoking deal at $22 a bale.
I'm telling you, when you guys come
Gracious,
up here,
bring a
Chris,
trailer.
you ought to be bringing a trailer.
I bought a squeeze and a half that'll last us all summer. I go through a bale a day for
Wow.
We
my
were
goat.
just figuring
And
up last night because one of our Facebook friends had posted, looks like I have no hair, like the sun's getting us.
So the sun's starting to kind of come in on us.
A friend on Facebook had posted that they just loaded up their winter's worth of hay on everyone's first cutting because we're getting first cuttings here. And I said, do you think we ought to probably do that? It would be a good time to do that. And we were figuring up with our goats currently, I bank on a bale a week, but we only have 4 goats. So we don't have a lot.
Yeah.
Huck, where are you at? You always jump in.
Here's the fun part is the energy hair is it rained yesterday. So I'm like,
Hey, appreciate that hair though, because that means we got moisture in the air down there, right?
yeah. Yeah, no, when Nick was saying that he got rained on yesterday, I was sitting in my front area watching it rain on Nick. We had big drops like for like 4 or 5 minutes, and that was it.
You
It
could
was
just see it in the
nothing
distance.
there. I could just see lightning and crazy, and I was just like, oh yeah, not here yet.
Now, I think Roberts and Belly Acres, aren't they in Oklahoma? Isn't that where they're from?
I don't have my list. We sat outside today, so I'm sorry.
I think they're down around that area, but they're paying $13 a bale for alfalfa. Still a
I would
deal.
love to pay $13 a bale for alfalfa. I would love to.
I mean, obviously gas is high, but man, what doesn't stop
out there
people
where
from
they're
loading
at,
a trailer
out
and
there
going
where
somewhere?
Chris and them are at, though, they don't get the rain in the springtime and stuff for the alfalfa to grow, so everybody's probably irrigating their alfalfa field, so it costs a whole lot
Hey.
more.
I just came up with a business venture.
I'm not what bale it, grow alfalfa and bale it and then ship it out.
And bring it to
No, we're gonna rent a semi truck and we're gonna fill that beast with hay from up here, and we're gonna drive south
They were doing that years ago.
and sell it.
Several years
I would
ago
never
out in
do
like
that
Colorado,
unless I
out
had
in those
to.
western states and stuff. They were buying hay from here, but they were paying, $100 a bale, $140 a bale for big round bales. And they were taking truckloads of them to Colorado. So
I can't even imagine what the big round bales are right now. I haven't been able to even find it.
around here, a big round bale is about $60 a bale. For a big
I'd
round
say the uppers of $300 to $400 right now
bale.
for us to get. So
Crazy.
yeah, no. So I was just kind of laughing at your prices. I was like, I wish I could get those.
She's like, oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah, why don't you get some horses, Chris?
Expensive.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
we actually did sell our horses because of prices.
Yeah.
Because
you
my
can
oldest
afford to have
daughter-
them out there.
no, you can't. And like I said, we really watch the prices. Like right now, I'm not doing 100% alfalfa for my goats, which is what I normally do. I'm doing an alfalfa Bermuda mix with ryegrass in there. I'm just doing a totally different combination because I could get it for $1 cheaper a bale. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing a bale a day, that's $30 right now. We have no idea what the prices are going to be when I run out of my squeeze.
That was kind of the other push for us to go ahead and make the painful decision to sell our horses, was because not only was grass prices going up across the board, obviously because gas and fertilizer and all that's going up, but also like their feed was going up. And then not every farmer out here got a good second cutting last year, or their field got ruined, or their hay that was put up got ruined. And it was like, the goats take so much less. And the horses, obviously, we fed them brome. And so that was more expensive. Whereas the goats, I feed my goats alfalfa only obviously while they're in milk or about to kid. Other than that, I mean, they're enjoying brome right now because that's what we have, but they'll go to grass hay, which is even cheaper than brome.
And we can't find any of that right now. Nothing.
That's crazy.
See, our grass hay, which is the guy that we get our hay from, it's good grass hay, but he's about $4 a bale for square bales of grass hay.
She's like, Oh, I'm telling you, you'd be doing good to rent a trailer when you come.
This guy's got about
Just
2,000.
you all.
He raises cattle and he's got about 2,000 acres, so he's got a lot of hay ground.
Tony's
that
in
he
Missouri
is.
too. I'm telling
No,
you.
he's not.
I was gonna say, if you are, you could totally fool me because I get to where all these names start running together, and I cannot remember who is from where.
Isn't he in Canada?
Yeah.
Is he in Canada or no?
Washington State.
Washington.
He's north.
I said I
that's
knew
for
he wasn't
sure.
around here anywhere.
Tony.
So,
Oh.
hey, Jess, I've got a proposition for you with your new business that you're planning here.
Yeah.
I think, you might not be able to get your horses back, but maybe you could get some mules if you made a mule train and fed them the hay as you went along. And,
Hey,
then
I'm
you
all
avoid
about
the
the
high
mules,
gas
man.
prices, too.
I'm all about the mules. They'd work out real well in the mountains when we go out there chasing out.
He's talked about wanting to buy a mule for that. And I'm like, you're kidding me? You want to buy a mule to use one time a year
Hey,
and you
Drusha.
make me sell my horses? You just rent a mule.
Rent a mule. There's another business right there. Rent a
I
mule.
want to teach my male goats to pull a chariot.
Goats to be weeders of places now. Like they'll clear land. That's one cool thing I thought about.
We don't have land to clear in that sense because we don't have any weeds yet. It's all dead.
You don't have anything to clear off.
It's a big deal around here. People do pay a lot of money. And in fact, I've noticed somebody had mentioned even it was on like a public property, like a park or something. Yeah, you'll have to go that way.
I'm going to rearrange myself when she talks.
They will rent out goats. But I don't know who we got our goats from. She says that her goats are real good at doing that. I'm afraid I would look like that crazy goat lady out there trying to chase my goats down.
Hey, Chris, do you think you could breed some goats that would maybe not clear the land of weeds, but clear the land of rocks? Because then you'd have a good business on your hands.
I would have an amazing
Okay, we're moving.
Give us 1 second. We're going to just
let it
move
unplug.
real quick.
I'm getting seasick. Oh, no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, okay, that's better.
That was pretty painless.
That was
That
good.
wasn't
We're
too
good.
bad.
We're good. No, you know what? I kind of giggled. Somebody said, for my weeds in my garden, I should just let my goats out. And I said, they wouldn't eat the weeds. They'd eat my spinach. I mean, they'd be going right for the garden beds. I actually walked outside yesterday and looked up and all my goats were out. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to eat my garden. And I had a sprinkler going in the garden and they won't go near the sprinkler. So they were surrounding the garden, trying to figure out how to get in there without getting wet because, water is acid to goats. They just cannot deal with sprinkles. They're scary.
They're related to the Wicked Witch of the West.
Pretty much. So nothing of my garden got touched and they ate all the weeds on the fence line.
Nice. Another thing that's different about you guys over there, Glenn and Jess, is that you mentioned your well is not very deep. So I was amazed at how cheap your hay bale prices were, but I want to be amazed at how shallow your well is too. How deep do you think it is? Or do you know how deep? What's that?
Our well?
Yeah, how deep is it?
It is
Before Jess runs it dry. How deep is it?
Is the water level or the total well?
Sure, I don't care.
The whole well is only about 14 foot deep. So,
Again.
Every well here is at least 400 feet deep.
ours is 14 foot deep and it's hand dug and rock line.
I think ours is less than 200 feet, but that's shallow. 14 feet.
Yeah, ours is 250 or 260, I think is what they said, and we're deeper than most of our neighbors.
But you probably don't run out of water though, do you?
Well, we're on a water table. We sit on an aquifer out here in Chino. So those that are in Prescott, like Nick, if he were to have a well, he'd have to go a whole lot deeper because they're a little bit higher elevation than us. But when we had to redo our water, it was because our pump was out, not because our well was dry. So I'm actually, I think when I was talking with my dad, I'm like 60 feet deeper than his well at his house. So we've got water, which is
But
awesome. But
a lot of people in Chino do have, in different spots at Chino, they do have their wells go dry. There's a house I saw where I think it was built 20 years ago, and they had a 500-foot deep well, and they drilled a new well. You talked about having to maybe do that, right, Chris? I watched that video, and you're thinking maybe we're going to have to drill another well for 10 to 20 grand or something. And they did, and they couldn't hit water. And so they were just selling their house with a huge, I think it was like a 20,000 gallon tank in the ground that they refill with trucked in water. And the house it should have went for probably 600,000 here, and it was on the market for 350. I think it was pretty sad. So, but you know what, Chris, at least we don't have the humidity they have. It just rained here last night real good, and we got 59% humidity.
I was gonna say, you saw the hair. We've got some humidity this morning. So
yep.
See, most of our wells around here are, a lot of the hand dug wells were dug back in like during the Civil War and stuff. So a lot of the hand dug wells that you have around here that are shallow were all dug back in that time frame. So ours, I don't know if it was dug then or if the homeowner that we bought the place from dug it. I'm not sure, but a lot of the ones around here that are real shallow in Missouri are from back then.
Now we hand drove pipe, $50 pipe in the ground. It went about, we almost have about 20 feet of pipe, maybe 15 feet in the ground, counting the point of the well point that we put in for a hand pitcher pump. We hit water, but we're still not getting the water to come up through the pipe very well. It just creates a suction, and it won't go no further. Figure out what we did wrong. We have to go maybe another 5 feet. So it's about 13 feet right now where it hit water, and where we thought we went below the point. So we're trying to figure that out ourselves. We got a pitcher pump in the ground, but
so we've got city water where we're at, and we have our well. So the house that we have, it actually was all on the well at one time, but then behind us they built a subdivision back over here on 5 to 8 acre lots. They built probably 15 houses over there, and when they did that, the guy that owned this place before, he actually knew the builder. So when they put the water lines in over there, the city water over there, he went over and talked to him, and he had them actually put a meter. So the meter for our house sits straight through these trees behind us in that subdivision on their road.
Oh, wow.
Our water meter, it's all the way over there in somebody else's yard, and it comes over to this house. So he actually got city water over to here because he knew the builder on that subdivision and had him put a meter in over there for our house. So now the house is on city water, but we have the well, which is a couple of our hydrants, and then my shop, the bathroom and stuff. The water in the shop out there is well water right now, but it's kind of a weird deal. But our meter's not even in my yard.
that's really odd.
So
I will tell you, Nick, we have 55% humidity right now.
Yeah.
I've never, we had 6 last week before the monsoon started. So
I was going to say to the rest of the people in the chat, that might seem really low to have 55%.
Right?
But yeah,
I did
for us,
just put lotion on this morning. I was like, oh, it's nice.
well, I know I've got 2 incubators going right now, and I'm real happy that they're not just running dry like they are every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to refill them. So yeah, good times. But hey, I'm going to have to hop off of here. We're going to the rodeo tonight. So I got to get some work done and get out early. So
have fun at the rodeo, Nick. We went to our rodeo last weekend. I think it was our local rodeo. So enjoy that, get some stuff done, and try not to sweat too much in that humidity y'all are having.
Yeah, will do. All right, Glenn.
See you,
everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
So Robertson Belly Acres says their well was in their basement.
Oh yeah, some people do have.
I will be careful with
Look, there's our Rocky Dream. There's a fellow Arizonan.
Yeah, that's who we were talking about earlier. And our new land is in here. Devin. I'm assuming it's Devin. He's usually the one that's in everybody's lives. And Dale says it costs about $3,000 there to put in a meter. Yeah, I want to say down here in the county that we're in, it was to put a meter in. We had some friends of ours who had to do it recently, and it was around $1,600 to have the meter set here. But in the county that we lived in just north of here, one county north of here, before we moved down here, it was $4,700 for the water meter and tap up there. So it was a whole lot more up there, and that was if we did all the digging. If we had to hire somebody to do it, it was around $6,700
buddy.
to get a water meter set there.
We
Crazy.
ours is shallow.
There you go, Mom.
Not shallow for our area, that is. Not shallow like yours.
Yeah, ours are definitely, a lot of the wells around here aren't very deep. If you find a 100-foot well around here or something, that's a deep well.
That's pretty cool. I think ours is like 170 something or 180. I can't quite remember. We were told one time, but I forgot. But I know it's under 200 feet.
Wow.
We could probably go deeper and get a better pressure, because we don't have like a high, like we'll lose pressure sometimes, but it's not too bad. Like when we have 2 or 3 water hoses, like if we're trying to give the cows water, then I'm trying to water the garden, and someone's trying to run bath water. It's also like our pump, our pump probably needs to be a little stronger. It's not a very strong horsepower. I think it's like a 1.5 or something. We could get a stronger horsepower too to pull it out.
Yeah. Jessica said our other place, the land that we had bought before we moved down here, that we were going to build a house on. It did have a well on it too, and I forgot about that. But it was a shallow well also. It wasn't very deep. I bet that well probably wasn't over 15 foot deep up there.
Wow.
But it was hand dug hole.
I always have cute.
Crazy.
Well, I'm gonna have to jump off. I've got a billion orders to get through this morning, because I'm taking tomorrow off and going on a day outing with all of my children.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
So yeah, I think about 5 of the kids or 6 of the kids going. I don't know who's going.
When did the trip to Missouri get postponed to, Chris?
Right after fair, we're going. Our plan is the week after fair in September. So okay. The 12th or so, the 11th is a Sunday, and that's the closing of our county fair here, where we're all involved in. So we're hoping that week.
You get the play.
You got to be up here to meet with us somewhere around the 18th. Then you can't come before that. I'm gonna be in Colorado.
Right. So yeah. So have just send me the dates when you're going to be gone too, so that I can.
Say I'll be gone from the 10th through the 17th.
Okay.
So you got to come.
So Larry's and I wedding anniversary is in that week. So we figured that would be kind of a cool trip to take on top of it. So, but that's where we've been. We had to postpone it till, but that's the goal right now. So unless gas prices go up to $8 a gallon, then we'll figure out again what we're going to do.
To get a horse, it might be cheaper.
Once I say goats in a chariot, that's totally what I've got to look at doing. So, all right, you guys, I got work to do. I will see y'all soon.
Chris.
Bye.
I need to dig a mile. She's saying, Raquel says, okay, I'll admit I'm stupid. People keep talking, they need to dig a mile into the ground to get better pressure. Where is this pressure created? My pump sucks out water. Yeah, I don't know, because the pressure and stuff for us, it depends on the pump and how much horsepower the pump is. So
it's a pump mainly. They tell you either got to dig deeper or you got to get a better pump usually. It depends on the water table, and then they might be saying, okay, your water table's not, I guess, big enough to hold that type of pressure. Maybe that's why she's got to dig deeper.
I can carry it.
Hey, Leanne. Devin says you can get more flow, allowing the pump to increase pressure.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny.
Good. Yes.
Haven't seen Danny around for a little while. Glad to see her in here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Phone's ringing.
Hold on, buddy. My mommy put this up. My 4-year-old's helping me unload the dishwasher.
So, Drusha, how's your garden doing?
It's fried, pretty much.
Right. Looking like Chuck's garden right now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment. I'm like, oh, usually it doesn't get this bad till late July, early August. It doesn't. But we're just now getting rain. So we hadn't had rain in a few weeks. And it's really upsetting because I'm like, I want it to look prettier, and then it's looking really sad and sickly, and it gets to you when you work so hard, and the heat, humidity. And my garden's out in full sun, so.
See you, Robertson's Belly Acres.
But unfortunately, it doesn't look as pretty as, or as lush as I would like it to look because of the lack of water.
See, ours looks good right now, but I think it's mainly because we haven't really gotten like super hot yet, which obviously we're watering quite a bit too, but it's not been like crazy hot just yet.
Well, we've got to like 112 degrees and hot. It's been hot. Hot for Mississippi. I mean, it's pretty hot for us, especially in June. We usually don't see these temps to July.
Wow.
And it was like I think we had a week straight of 110 plus degree heat with the humidity. So you'd be like, oh, it's 98 today, but it feels like 112. And
man.
Yeah. If you have to go out, I could let you go. And
nope, I'm good. I'm just in here visiting. Hi. Jessica had to run real quick to get Hunter, so she'll be back here pretty soon. She had to run into town. He had weights this morning, so
cool.
We got home last night. He had a baseball game last night, and they're playing their tournament right now. So they won last night. We got to go back up there tonight to play again. But when we got home last night, I bet my kids because they were betting they could do lunges and stuff, and they bet me they could do a lunge all the way down our driveway to the house, which our driveway is a quarter mile long.
No.
I bet them each $20 if they couldn't do it. I didn't think they'd make it a quarter away down the driveway. Wyatt and Hunter both did lunges nonstop without stopping. That was the deal. They lunged from the end of the driveway all the way to the house. So I lost $40 yesterday. So
that's some strong little kid legs.
I didn't think they could do it. They were like, "Yeah, why don't you do it, Dad?" I'm like, "Because I know I can't do it."
I die after the 10th one. What you talking about?
Oh man.
Yeah, leave it out for mine. Hold on.
Jessica videoed it though. It was like a 15-minute long video. It took them 15 minutes to do lunges all the way down the driveway, but they did it. And Wyatt couldn't hardly walk down the stairs. He was pretty much sliding down the stairs in the house because he couldn't hold himself up. So
legs hurt. Oh.
Leanne says hers is a half mile long.
Wow,
that's a pretty good long driveway, Leanne. Ours is about a little over a quarter mile, but it's a long ways to do lunges. That's crazy.
Our driveway is not that long, but our road. So our goes from pavement to a private dirt road, and that we share with a legal easement. 10 foot of our property and 10 foot of the neighbors. That's probably about a half mile if you go back, but it's probably about a couple hundred feet to our gate.
Okay.
But it's about a mile to go from the road, the entrance to the road to our gate. It's a little bit longer.
So Rebecca over at Touched by Yarn, she's one away from 160 family members. So if anybody in here is not subbed to Rebecca, go over and check her out. She She does have a video on there now. I don't know if she's posted another one yet. I haven't seen a announcement of it or anything. It hasn't alerted me. Go check Rebecca out and join her family so you can see all the stuff. She does a lot of knitting and crocheting and stuff. She sends hats out, scarves and stuff to everybody. So super, super nice.
Super sweet.
Go check her out. We'll see if we can get her to 160. All she needs is one. So.
Yeah, she's great. And she's trying to do videos to teach too, which is cool.
I say Jessica needs to go watch. She's learning to crochet, and she's been making little granny squares and stuff so she can make a blanket, and she started making a washcloth. She's made some soap bags, but her problem is she's having a hard time with like her tension, so it'll start out good, and then some of it might grow towards the top or whatnot. She's having a hard time keeping them square.
What her tension might be off, and she might be missing like one little chain or something. That's what normally happens. You got to keep your tension loose in your hand and in your wrist as well. Your other hand where you're crocheting.
I've watched her do like a soap bag, and then get almost to the end of it and just undo it all and start on something else. I'm like, are you serious?
Frogging. You call it frogging. You take it all out.
She did. I was like, man, all that work sitting there doing that. And
I've done that many a time when you get frustrated and you want it to look just right and it doesn't. And you're like, oh, rip it all out.
She says, Jessica says, I need to use a stitch marker.
Well, if she ever has any questions, I don't know if we're friends on Facebook or anything, she can always ask, and I could try to help her and like watch it. I could watch people do it, and I know what they're missing, or go over the pattern sometimes.
Hey, Road Dogs Customs. Good Times Homestead.
Some people like when you're going in like a pattern and you have to connect to a certain chain. If you connect to the wrong one, by the time you get to the end, it could be off.
Okay. But she'll have to touch base with you and figure all that out, because I don't do the crocheting. She does all that. Hey, yeah. Stephen. Hi, Jerusha.
Hey, how you doing? What, buddy? No, I'm not scooting. We're gonna put the utensils in now. Here, I'm gonna hand them to you.
Stephen was over in Shane's live this morning, and I was in there for a little while. Now that Shane does his about 8:15 now, so it's I can jump in there most mornings, but then obviously on Wednesday morning when we do our live, I kind of have to jump out and jump into ours. But Shane does his every morning at 8:15 Central Standard Time now, so no Shane over at Great Farmer Freelance. Go check him out at 8:15 every morning. So. I saw something in here. Oh, Jen, she said she was in Jamaica. Rub it in, Jen. Rub it in.
Well, no, I wouldn't mind that humidity on that beach. No.
Here, we'll post a link. See if Jen can jump in here. I bet she's all suntanned and everything now, and I'm sitting on the beach in Jamaica.
I have a friend in Canada that is itching to get out of Canada to come to the States to see it. Me and a few other friends, but she's just being held there.
Now, we went to Jamaica one time, and it was good. It was a fun time, but it was like, I don't know. It was like almost worse than going to Mexico. When you go down there and every corner you turn around, everybody's trying to get you to do something. It was if you went into town, it was like they were trying to slip something in your hand, and then they want you to pay for it. So it was tough.
Wow.
We pretty much just stuck to the resort. So
that's sad when you get somebody
facing reality live chat. I'm not really there.
I haven't left the States. I've been to, Maryland and a few other northern states, but not been to Texas one time. I hadn't really gone farther than Texas.
I say we've gone out of the country a few times. We usually in the wintertime when roofing and stuff gets slower for us, that's when we generally take our vacations, and we put all of our material bills and stuff throughout the year on our American Express. So we usually use the points on that, and it takes us on vacation each winter usually. So we've gone to Mexico a few times, and Jamaica once, and usually it's Mexico though. Usually Mexico is about the least expensive place you can visit, basically, for the money. That's all inclusive. And the boys really enjoy it because we'll pick a family-friendly resort usually, and the kids just really enjoy running around and play on the slides in the water park area and stuff. And then obviously the free the ice cream. There's 24/7 ice cream down there. It's just what I go for.
Real good.
Oh, well, they got soft serve ice cream down there, and you just go and get as much as you want. So the boys, they'll go swimming, and then they'll run and get them an ice cream, then come back, and they'll eat 15 ice cream cones in a day down there. It's crazy. It's the only time we let them get away with that.
Go down there. Yeah. Only when you get a buck, you get all you can eat.
Yep.
Yeah, hold on. It's not ready to turn on yet. Shut it. He was loading the dishwasher. I want to do it by myself.
Our Rocky Dream. Jamie's asking if anybody knows of a natural scorpion repellent.
Add more to it in a minute. Oh.
I don't have to deal with a lot of scorpions around here, so.
If you watch Weed'em and Reap is a channel. It's a big channel. They deal with scorpions a lot. They have a few videos on it, but I don't think they have a repellent per se. They go out at night with a light and they kill them.
Okay, just go out
or get rid of them. Say, don't do it. They bugs. No. But yeah, they go out at night. They have a light that makes them glow like a neon green, yellow color.
Huh. Yeah, I've never had to deal with. I know we have some scorpions and stuff in Missouri, but I've never really dealt with them on any property I've been on. I know there are some, but
we just did rattlesnakes and moccasins and black widows. You know, that's what we deal with.
So we've got the rattlesnakes and stuff. I don't know about the moccasins, but we've got rattlesnakes in Missouri.
Well, we tend to have water moccasins because we have a lower lying part of our property, and they tend to make themselves seen every once in a while. No, you can't put that in there. I'm gonna wash it out. I'm done. We're not putting that cup in there though. He's so antsy to get the dishwasher full. Hold on, buddy. We got to clean the counter off.
So our garden and stuff, it's obviously the loofah gourds and the cucumbers are doing really well, but our tomatoes are really starting to come on. We haven't had anything ripen yet, but the plants are loaded with tomatoes.
My tomatoes, I had some that I bought and I planted in the ground and they were doing fine. And I maybe got a tomato or two off of, and then they got blight because it got so hot so fast. And then my chickens got into the garden, which they normally, when we moved them, and they normally don't go all the way into the garden. But weeds is a problem, so that's why I grow in raised beds, because I can control the weeds for like the cucumbers and stuff. So my cucumbers do better in raised beds on my trellises than they do in the ground. And I got a few out of the ground, and then they kind of got too hot and got, sad. And then the deer, she'd come top them off, and we get deer out in our garden every now and then. So I had actually made a small little garden with cotton. I had strawberry corn, which is like a popcorn. Hold on, buddy. And mainly sunflowers, and all my sunflowers were coming up, and I had all my little strawberry corn plants coming up, and she done topped everything and pulled up my corn. I'm so mad. And you can't deter anything yet because the season, and that little garden was right by the road. So
hey, CNC Farm, there's another channel from Missouri. New here, enjoy all the homestead knowledge I'm gaining from these groups. Started our homestead journey, so I'll take any advice I can get.
There's so many great channels.
Say there's a lot of good channels in the chat here to get advice from and stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say my channel, but we're still learning as we go too. But it's definitely been a fun journey, and we enjoy learning from everybody that's in here also.
You learn and grow, basically.
Our watermelons and stuff in the garden are doing really well now that we've started to get some heat. They've just took off. They're taking over that whole section of the garden. I'm glad we gave them some room because they're growing like crazy.
We had a few, but you know how we got so hot they would get a certain size and they would bust. And then I had a few got toted off by a critter. Little baby, it's slimy.
Say we were going through there the other day and just looking at them and seeing about how many were in there. There's tons of flowers and blooms on the watermelon and the cantaloupes, but there's tons of little watermelons that are about the size of a bouncy ball right now. So they're all really taking off and doing really good. And hopefully, I'm hoping, I don't know what people do with their watermelons. Before we would grow them,
like here almost, if you got say you got like a big watermelon off this vine going this way, you got a bunch going here, you got one going here and here, trim off like one of those vines, so the plant will divert its energy to those one or two watermelons down the other vine.
So do what now?
No, stop. You know how you would basically trim a tomato, you take the suckers off. So when you have, say you have you have 2 or 3 forks, and then say the fork over here has a big watermelon, and then like this fork has maybe one small one. They tell you to trim that one off.
The one with the small one?
Prune it because the plant birds more fruit on it.
I said we've got quite a few on. None of them are big right now, so I don't want to go pruning anything yet. But as they start growing, I'm just hoping like the bottom of them, because like I've seen where a lot when we grew them in the past, the bottom of the watermelons would turn like a yellow or something like that, or they might rot out or something. I don't know. Like, do you have to turn the watermelons? Should you?
No, we don't turn them. You just basically. I don't know if you have a problem here, but we have the problem where our grass grows so fast we have to weed around and keep like the.
We don't have any weeds in our garden.
Stop.
Well, we have the fabric.
Yeah.
So.
You don't because that bottom is where it kind of sits and it grows and it determines how sweet sometimes the watermelon is. Of course, you might get someone in your area that tells you different.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get some. So, how's Jesse this morning?
Hey, good morning. Hey, Jerusha, how you doing? Loved all them potatoes you pulled out of your garden. 100 pounds?
It was about 100. It probably would have been 400.
Can you believe it? 100 pounds, and I ain't got a single one yet. I was hoping for some French fries.
Fries and tater salad. We call it
tater salad. You name it.
I was disappointed with our potatoes.
Well, the heat got to them quick this year, so we probably could have got almost 400 pounds if the heat wouldn't have been so quick.
I noticed you only had like a handful of like the golden or the white potatoes.
Yeah, we have some that we're pulling now. We left them because when we would pull them, they were little.
Right.
And even though the plant has completely died off now, so we're about to pull those and see how much we've gotten off of those. We hope we get maybe the same or hold on, buddy. Or close to the same. But the heat did us in really from getting a bigger harvest. But it's better than nothing. It's still a lot of potatoes.
Right.
LB, woman outdoor.
Hey, listen, I just want to say, CNC Farm, welcome to YouTube because they're new. It looks like they have one subscriber. Huh. And guess what? I'm going to be number 2.
And I'll have to go check them out here after a while. And
yeah, so I'm your number 2. But let me tell you something, Mr. CNC Farm. I don't know your name, but if you want to learn about YouTube, don't come look at my channel. If you want to learn anything about YouTube or learn anything, don't come to my channel. Now, if you want to know how not to do a YouTube channel, come see me. I guarantee you'll learn what you.
Stay right where you're at.
You learn
Yeah. Yeah. And also, if you want to know about how to do things on YouTube, there's a channel called Mr. Boots and Bounty Help Desk. He comes on every Wednesday at 5:00 Central Time, and he talks about how to do channels, how to navigate through YouTube Studio, just a lot of pointers on how to work your channel. And he's very good. And if you have questions, and if you don't know the answer, he'll tell you he don't know the answer, but he'll find out.
Hey, Janet.
So welcome to YouTube.
I'm looking right now. I'm trying to get to his channel. CNC Farm. Okay.
Jessica took my phone, so I've got hers sitting here because of the hotspot. So,
and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say maybe CNC stands for him and his wife's name.
Yeah,
Kathy and
R and J.
CNC Farm.
Clyde and Kathy, Chris
put a
and
name.
Cindy. I'm just guessing. Clyde and Kathy, Chris,
put a name.
Cindy. I'm just guessing. It's the Bouncing Homesteader.
Yep. Hey, Amanda.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Her name at CNC Farm is Ashley.
Ashley. Okay. I was way off.
Austin, let him play a minute. Trying to find him on.
Hey, Danny.
Maybe he
Hey,
I
had to get y'all turned off.
Thank you, Chuck. I was trying to find it.
Hey.
Oh, their kids' names. Yep, that makes sense.
So, Glenn, I just want you to notice something. As soon as I got on, all the chicks come. So I must be a chick magnet.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
I saw
Flocking
Jesse.
for you, Modfather.
Yeah.
What can I say?
I saw Jesse and I was like, oh no.
Glenn, you're welcome. Oh, see another one.
Yeah.
Oh, see? The women just keep coming.
I'm telling you, come on up.
Their kids' names.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Callie and Colton.
Callie and Colton. Yeah, that's the inheritors of the farm. So that's why they put CNC.
Hey, Glenn.
I bought one of these because my lettuce wasn't doing good and it's got the roots. So I'm going to take the top off and see if I can grow it back.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work. I think it will.
We're going to try some experimental stuff.
I'm gonna make your day, Jesse. I'm gonna add another woman in here for you.
There you go. You see? Come on. And these are all great women too. Trust me, guys. CNC, take note. You see?
I feel like we're in the Brady Bunch here with all the little squares.
Miss Lisa.
Yeah, well, you can't if I do this.
If nobody's connected to anybody, go check them out.
Oh yeah, you're growing your celery. Yeah,
You put the celery the other day and you stuck it in water and it gets growing back.
Of course, when I read up on it, it says it 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
I want to build a little ball.
Scott says, "Oh dear, run, Glenn."
Get it.
Yes.
Get it. Come on, get it. Take it.
All the women are ganging up on the panel here, so Scott's telling me to run.
Yeah, so this is called outnumbered.
I was trying to hand you the coffee.
Not that much. You got three guys. We got another one here.
I'm outnumbered.
Okay.
You're still outnumbered, but not by that much.
Cheers, everybody. Good morning.
My coffee's almost empty.
We're about to be outnumbered. Jessica's back, so she'll be jumping on here in a second. So.
Oh no. So yeah, Glenn, you missed a good 4-hour live yesterday with Danny.
I did. I knew
it was so long that I was on there twice.
Exactly.
In people's lives yesterday, but I had a lot of work to do yesterday, estimates and stuff. So I was driving around the city, and when I get to driving, especially up in the city, if I'm down here around home, it's not so bad because it's country.
Oh,
Then
She gone.
it's a speaker in. But when I get on those 4-lane highways and stuff, it's really hard.
No, I hear you.
I would have been on, but I took my twins to the doctor. We've had this crud cold going through our house, and they've had it. We've had it. I had about a little over a week, and they've had it for about a week. I said, and they were miserable. So I said, we'll take them to the doctor. I haven't been to the doctor in 4 years, and they haven't either. And the doctor's like, where you been? I said, we're today.
Yeah. I try not to go to the doctor unless it's absolutely necessary.
It's getting in their ears, and I know it's miserable when they get in their ears. They get fluid in their ears. And,
I'm
yeah.
with you, Danny. I can't.
I've been to the doctor so many times in the past couple of weeks, and we still have a couple more trying to get in all of our appointments before we leave. Oh boy.
How much time before you leave?
What's
Get
that?
out there and
How
go to
much time
find.
before you leave?
How much time until we leave?
Yeah, how much time before you leave?
The 27th of July.
Oh, wow.
So a little less than a month.
That's like
Yeah.
30 days. Yes.
Hey, Jessica.
Where in Tennessee are you moving?
East Tennessee.
Hi, guys.
We went to southwest, I believe. And
I wonder why I can't hear everybody's
Say it's buffering and people are cutting out on me now.
Yeah,
I'd like
I don't know,
to.
but that's a
I'd
lot
like
of
to
money for
announce.
lettuce.
I'd like to announce that CNC is now at 11 family members. Keep it coming,
And
people.
no
Keep it
videos.
coming.
post a video.
Yeah,
Say
we
this
just
one
wanted-
Hey, when
That's
they-
how
We
we do around
can
here.
say we knew CNC when they were just one, and it was right here on Glenn and Jessica's live.
Okay, we got 28 people in here. Surely we could get them to 28.
So
everybody that's here and going to check out their channel, make sure if you do go to their channel, go back and watch a video and make a comment on it. So hopefully that'll stick for them.
you open your.
There's no videos yet. We'll just have to stick around.
Are there?
All right. Jerusha's got jam. Are you sending me jam, Jerusha?
I had so many blueberries inspired me to make my own.
Come on.
I got
Blueberry.
Yeah, Jerusha, you're cutting out. I can only hear
Yeah.
Yeah, every other word, Drusha.
okay. Can you hear me?
Hold on, I'm trying to get back to the chat so that I can add them.
All right, you said hi, so can you get down now? Thank you.
He says only one in Mama's lap at a time, please.
Yeah,
What is that?
food him.
What is that? Oh,
That's a chick.
I thought it was a lizard.
I told you I was a chick magnet.
So should CNC Farm should have 14 now.
Look at that. Boy, I tell you, we're gonna
Amanda, Danny, you guys stick out.
if we stay long enough, Glenn, we can get
Danny did it.
CNC monetized today.
I know, right?
I wish we had that kind of following to help somebody like that, but we don't. Sorry.
I am 11 away from
I got 20.
300.
How many?
Getting
I'd
there.
like to know how CNC found Glenn and Jessica, how they heard about your live.
Can you hear?
Did you
Is it-
hear about
If
how
they were brand new, yeah, I wonder how.
They're brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, they just showed up.
Hey,
that was interesting? Jesse, did you
Yeah.
hear
You gotta
the
start
story
somewhere.
how the sunfish guy
yeah.
heard about us?
Yes.
He
Yes.
saw our sticker on
Yeah,
Cody's. I'm like,
and I said the same thing. I said that's how I found y'all. I was looking at hog deer and I saw y'all sticker there.
Hey, Cody.
Funny.
What?
I can't find the CNC Farm channel page. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's hard to find. You got to click the link. How did you find him, Jesse?
I posted the link. You may post it again.
By watching 9 Acres, they said.
Hey, Jess and Glenn, I sent out your sticker this morning.
Jesse.
Go back here.
Now CNC,
Yeah.
if you're not hook set to any of the people that are on this panel here, you need to make sure you get hook set on all these folks here.
So you guys were talking about your gardens and how they were exploding. I have everything in my pots, and my tomatoes are exploding. And those were going to be like some of the last things that I brought. And I got to bring them like this weekend and just leave them there because I got to start trellising the ones that need to be trellised because they're just going crazy right now.
So you can't bring them. Have you guys already started the moving process? What did I miss?
Yeah. I haven't talked about it or anything.
Okay, well, I
didn't miss any of that.
So I'm not an expert on gardening, but why couldn't you on those tomato plants? Why couldn't you cut them down and then let them regrow once you get to Tennessee?
Some of them are determinants, and if you cut those, determinants only have so many blossoms and give you so many fruits. So that would basically cut your yield. And then on an indeterminate, I could, but I would just have to wait even longer for that to regrow and things like that. So I might as well just move them down, water them as much as I can before I leave, and hope that Mother Nature waters them a little bit while I'm gone, or maybe I can. Our neighbor across the street has been maintaining that property because it was used as like a vacation home. So maybe I can weasel him into gardening watering my tomatoes while we're not there.
Or you can get some of those things that Andell was showing on her live yesterday. Those little things you screw on the top water bottle and stick it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would be better off starting from seed all over again than counting on those to come back.
That's like a whole nother. I got all these things established. I just got to get them down there.
Yeah.
I guess.
See you, Devin.
So are you currently then in your new place or your old place?
I am still sitting in my current place.
But you guys have made progress moving stuff down there?
My dad and Mike went down two weekends ago. Yeah, 2 weekends ago. And Mike brought a first load, but it was just his motorcycle and our kids' swing set and my compost bins and like nothing, just things that are really big and can't be put in our pod and things like that. And then we're going down this weekend to move my dad. So he's moving all of his stuff, got a moving truck, and he's bringing all his stuff. But we're going to bring another load of big things like a freezer and our outdoor set and outdoor storage bins and our safe and things like that.
Things take up so much room.
They do. So it's right. And we only got one pod to fit our whole house in, so, and that's the last thing that shows up is the pod. So it's if you don't get this big stuff down and it doesn't fit in your pod, then you're SOL, Yeah. So we're making these other trips just to make sure that we get all the stuff down there.
Now,
we're trying to get our garden. Sorry.
How long is it from your current home to your new home?
With the trailer, having to go slower with the trailer, it took them 12 hours when they went 2 weeks ago. But my dad was trailering our pontoon boat, so he was sticking at 65. Mike said he would have been comfortable going at 75 or 80, and he thinks that he could get there in maybe 10 and a half hours. But then when we go down, this kid's got to eat every 2 hours. So I'm estimating it's going to take us about 12 hours.
Every 2 hours, that will make you stop 6 times.
Gotta fix my hand.
How it goes.
Yeah. And what are you doing?
But I mean, we don't have a choice, so gotta do what we can do. We're gonna leave as early in the morning as we can.
This is not an herbal essence commercial, Jen. Settle it down.
She's always with the hair. I'm gonna buy you a barrette, Jen. I'm gonna buy you a barrette, and so you can just put it on the top of your head, and it's not in your
Everybody
face.
just go back and rewatch all of y'all.
This is not a paid promotion.
Everybody does it.
No, you do it every time.
I do because it's
Oh,
go back and watch everybody else's lives and watch Jen.
What's up, world? I'm fixing my hair.
I'm trying to get my garden to look like Jess's. I'm just saying. It's all clean and neat and all in order and no weeds.
Girl, your garden's pretty though. You got food in it. That's the plus.
Right.
Yeah, but you haven't seen my in-ground garden. That's the thing. Yeah, y'all haven't even seen my in-ground garden. Y'all would see that the grass is outgrowing the food.
I got grass. Don't be sad. I'm with you.
I got grass.
And then you should see me out there trying to hand pick the weeds and grass out. No, I mean, it's like.
It's tough, yeah.
Hey, if you guys haven't checked Miss Ann's garden, she had a video come out this morning. She got an awesome garden. Awesome. Land of plenty.
I've been the worst YouTuber. I haven't
Yeah,
watched
what is that
anything.
stuff that y'all lay
I
down?
haven't published anything. I have no idea what's going on in anyone else's lives except for I can pop into some lives every once in a while.
Well, your babies are little too, you know. Mine are semi-little and semi-big, so I kind of help.
What happened to Glenn? Glenn shrank.
Yeah,
they have
Went back
mini
in
Glenn.
time.
This
Went back in time.
this
Glenn,
is
you
Hunter.
shrunk.
Hunter.
So this year
I haven't seen him without a hat on, I don't think.
No.
Before.
So that's what Glenn looks like with hair.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Every time I see him, he's got a hat on.
That's my mini me. The one
Jess and
that
Glenn.
looks like me.
Hello. Where did you guys get? Where did you get the black the what y'all have laid out that you planted in?
Woven fabric, the garden cover.
It works for some
It's a
people.
website called.
Let them answer, people.
Grower Solutions has it too.
What?
Okay, so I didn't hear anything he said.
EOR.
It's called what now?
It's called Vever.com.
I'm
Spell
sending it.
It's in the Danny. It's in the chat.
Okay.
I put it in the chat.
Because if I grow in ground next year, that is what I'm doing. Otherwise,
trying to
I'm
show
going
it.
to have to build some hellacious raised beds.
Yeah.
You
If
know what
wanna
the other
look at
thing that we did
if-
last
If you want to look on how it's done, just go to Living Traditions. They have an excellent video on how to do it. Living Traditions Homestead.
Yeah.
And they're in the same state that Jessica's in.
By Jillian
And with
Carey.
that black, is that a breathable material?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It allows the water to penetrate, but it doesn't allow the weeds to grow.
Tell
That's
them
awesome.
they can play the Xbox. So last year, before we did the woven weed fabric, and I was very impressed with this too, there's a sawmill local to us. And so we got the sawmill, like shavings or something.
Shavings.
It wasn't like wood chips, but it was like sawdust. And we did a nice, real thick layer of that. That worked fantastic. So it's a much cheaper option than the woven weed fabric. But obviously you're going to be doing it every year rather than just relaying the fabric, because we will pull the fabric up each fall and then put it back down each spring. But I think it cost us maybe $50 to cover the entire garden, and it kept the moisture in, it kept the weeds out. It did really good.
Now, I don't know about in Missouri, but in Texas, if you did that here, we would have 101 cats around the garden. They love that sawdust.
Yeah.
Well, I
Ooh,
will
my
say that would probably
big
be
litter
an
box.
issue because we have
Big litter box.
we have a garden fence around ours with a hot wire on top, so our cats don't get in it. But how much did it cost? Wasn't it like $50 maybe?
The rolls that we
No.
got.
No. We're talking about the sawdust.
Oh, the sawdust was like $25 a scoop.
So I think it
And-
was $50 for the whole garden.
We put 3 scoops on there, so it's like $75, and that put about 6 inches of sawdust on the entire garden.
And it worked really good. We were very impressed with it. And then we had those what are those? Stirrup hose.
Mm-hmm.
And they worked really well because it kept the moisture content right. So then when we used the stirrup hose, it actually worked rather than putting it in like hard dirt or mud. What you got, Jerusha?
Anybody can hear me. Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, like the stirrup hose. If I plan, if I do not use the weed barrier fabric, which I don't tend to use near my tomatoes because I like volunteer tomatoes because they do so much better here. But I want to use that to weed instead of by hand this year because, like Amanda, it's hard. And I've seen the syrup hose, everybody hoeing around their little plants. I'm like, I need one of those because that would make it so much easier and more quicker to get all that mess around the plants out.
Bought that syrup hoe. I said, this is a silly idea. It's only going to work in the perfect conditions, but with the shavings, it worked really well. We are still really lagging. Did you kick them off the internet? Which we're not on the Wi-Fi. We're on my hotspot, but that's kind of weird. I wonder if we've maxed out my hotspot internet. Put it down. Possible. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh.
Are you blocking the sun from yourself, Jennifer? What's happening?
I was trying to give her a high five, but she's
got it. You're going the wrong way.
Jerusha, other way.
Jerusha, you got to go the other way. That's why I was like, what is happening here?
No, not Jennifer.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I can't flip. That's why I looked weird.
CNC got us all. So it's a good variety of information, entertainment, and Jesse.
Yeah, and Jesse.
Jesse.
Okay.
Said that they were working to get debt free, and so didn't want to do filming on their phone. Obviously, I assumed they were wanting to get some type of camera equipment, but I have to say, everything that we have put out there is not professionally produced at all, obviously. But filming with our iPhones has worked just fine for us. So I wouldn't hesitate to do that.
If anybody looks at my videos, a lot of comments. I video on Twitter.
I don't know why I'm getting closer to hear her better.
Yeah, I can't hear.
I feel like it'll help.
I have a Canon M50, but I do video on my iPhone 12 mostly.
Yeah. Now, Glenn's iPhone is not the same as mine. I have what do I have? The 11 Pro Max, and it seems to shoot pretty well. But I mean, obviously, if we were like doing this as a put food on the table job, I probably wouldn't film with a phone. But it works for us, and then I do the editing on an app on my phone, and it's very convenient. So it works for us for now.
Well, I like it because I have an Apple computer, and all my stuff gets synced. It's easier for me to edit.
Yeah, I started off using my iPhone, but I only had like 64 gigs of storage, and I don't have an Apple computer. So it filled up my phone so fast, and then converting it over to my Microsoft was just such a headache. I was like, I can't. That's why it didn't work for me.
Yeah, I do have an Apple computer. I had bought a secondhand desktop Mac a couple years ago to do my photo editing on, and so even then, though, I can't get my darn phone cleared off because it's.
Well, I'll tell you, I got a GoPro, and mine's a GoPro 6.
So I don't know.
I have a GoPro 6 and I have an iPhone 13, and the 13 gives much better pictures.
Yes, it does. The iPhones are pretty awesome. If you can buy an external online drive like 1 terabyte for $9 a month. If people are worried, I don't have enough storage, you could if you're willing, you can pay $10 a month, and then you have an extended storage from your phone to the iCloud.
Yeah. And that's what I have.
Hey, Shane.
I'm going to switch our hotspot. So
don't leave.
But it's not.
We'll hit.
What? Yeah, we'll hiccup for just a second. Not yet, but I'll tell you when. I'm waiting for it to show up because I'm wondering if we've used too much of mine. Okay, so hold on just a second.
If we don't disappear, I wanted to talk to Heather because we can't chat. What'd you pick up? What did you pick up today at your CSA share? Type it in the comments.
Type it in the comments.
Everybody's coming.
See if that works a little bit better.
Sorry, guys, hit the wrong button.
Okay, maybe that'll work better. We'll try.
There's no lagging.
Acceptable.
Oh, Amanda,
The
how old
delay
is
upset the baby.
how old is he now?
He'll be 4 months on the 7th.
Man, that's going quick.
Oh, that goes by so fast. Take lots of
Yep.
So he's almost potty trained.
Right, yeah. Totally.
Hey, I was potty trained at 9 months.
Danny and Jennifer aren't coming back up. I'm going to remove you guys. Will you pop back in so I can bring you back up?
Bye.
It's frozen.
Oh, we can go back to sleep now. There we go. Yep.
She back.
Get it.
I mean, I really don't have to
Still
be here.
frozen though.
Yes, you do, Danny.
Okay, so
It's not frozen for us, Jessica.
It wasn't frozen for us.
He can
It was
not
frozen
frozen
for
for
you,
us.
but not for us.
Oh, really? You could see them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we can hear him too.
You're lying.
No.
Are you
No, it's just you guys. You guys are the only ones that are glitchy.
Yeah, it must be your internet or your hotspot must not be hot enough.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica wanted to
There.
do it out on the porch this morning, so it's
Well,
just not.
Even when we do this inside, we use a hotspot. So
You see
so
how
you
she
can
kicked us,
see
Danny?
Danny?
They're all loud and clear. We're the ones.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
That's
both
cool.
good to us. So
Okay, well, that's what matters.
Jesse doesn't
That's
lie.
crazy.
I
Maybe-
always tell the truth, even when I lie.
Yeah. We need to look at getting that fiber internet stuff. See, for me,
Do you have a Wi-Fi extender? That might help.
well, whenever we're like sitting next to the the modem or whatever it is usually where we do our live stream. But if we're connected to our home internet, our Wi-Fi, it is terrible. So I always, even sitting right next to the modem, I always just use the hotspot anyhow.
So Jessica, it's not like I'm
me the
trying.
baby,
I'm not getting anything for this because I just watch them. But if you go to Living Traditions and type in Living Traditions in the search, internet, they've gone through like 4 or 5 different systems, and they have a system that works in your area, and I think it's called Nomad. But you might want to check it out. They have an excellent video, and it shows you all the pros and cons of every one of the systems.
yeah, I saw that video.
It's an excellent video on internet service in your area.
I'll definitely have to check that out. So
I've
see,
heard-
on my end, Danny just has a revolving circle, and then in my backstage video of her, it's just a frozen picture. But you guys can see her.
No,
Yeah,
they're
she's
clear.
good.
They're clear as a bell right here
Hello,
for
Mama.
us.
So you're just gonna talk to Danny the revolving circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can hop off here.
Why aren't you taking care of your kittens? Where are they at? She just had babies.
Danny, can you see us? Can you? Or,
Yeah. I mean, everything's working fine for me.
You know what, Jennifer? What we've never done an online wave. Come on, Jennifer.
Or
You gotta give
holding
it a
it with one
program.
hand.
Hey,
I'm
so
holding it.
better.
That's good stuff.
It's
Road
just-
Dogs
it's
Custom
just
says
us.
I look good on their
Everybody
side.
looks good to everybody else. It's just ours is really slow and got a huge lag in it.
well, it didn't this morning, so it must just be that we've used enough of it. Got cat hair all over me. It must
Yeah,
just be
but check out the comments. There's some
It
cool
must be that I'm
comments.
so slow, I'm making the internet run slow.
That's right,
Our
Rocky.
Rocky Dream had a really good comment.
We started our channel for our for our kids and grandchildren. Can't believe we reached people around the world. Can't see it now.
That's cool.
Trying to pull
It's
it up.
slow.
Ours
The
is-
platform has so much potential for bringing people together in a meaningful way. Absolutely, 100% agree. We didn't really know exactly what we were getting into, other than just kind of documenting our journey when we started. And you know, we have gosh, people all over the U.S., out of the U.S.
You got
all over the world.
Yeah.
Annie's Kitchen. So Annette, she's in Australia. It's
Yeah,
nighttime
she's
for
on
her.
too. She's so sweet.
And then we got Jesse in Texas, Jerusalem in Mississippi. We got Amanda in
Alabama.
Chicago. And Jen down in Arkansas. And
Woo!
Danny, yeah. I miss Danny because it's still a revolving circle for us. But Danny, I can see her.
Her eyes even blue.
I'm from Alabama.
That's because Danny's giving you the runaround.
Yeah, so Heather, you mentioned you were coming to Chicago. What do you're just going to the airport though? You're not doing anything else in Chicago? I think you said you were going to go pick somebody up, I think, from the airport. I hate going to the airport.
Danny's gone.
Carolina.
Yep,
North
and
Carolina in the house.
Carolina, Deborah.
Arkansas, Florida. Tony is not in Missouri.
I was going to say, what?
No, Kettle Kitchen is from Washington. He says Missouri. He's not from Missouri.
Maybe he's in Missouri right now.
Maybe he was born in Missouri, but he lives in
Jennifer was from Jamaica earlier, so, whatever.
Am I still giving you
anything goes on the internet, right? You can say whatever you want.
Exactly. And Danny's down from Sweet Home, Alabama.
Okay, can you guys see me,
I
Jesse? Am I moving?
Perfect.
Yeah, you're good. Danny, don't worry about it. You're good. Just
Okay,
keep,
I'm not
keep going
unfrozen.
about
I'm unfrozen.
the
Okay,
stream.
You're a little bit dark. I mean, you got a lot of sun this lately, but
everybody else
we can
is
see
good.
Danny's doing the creepy silhouette thing.
There you go.
Hey,
There's
there
that
she
beautiful
is.
face.
Now I have my halo back.
Yeah,
There you go.
do.
You've always had it.
Better than being creepy.
Hey, Maniac. What?
Hey,
I'm always creepy. What?
Oh, for Pampered Chef. Okay. Yeah.
Who's got Pampered Chef?
Heather Lynn. She's coming to Chicago for a Pampered
you
Chef
got
thing.
the baby.
Ooh, fun.
So, Jess and Glenn, did
So
y'all hear me earlier
Tony.
when I was saying that I sent y'all a sticker out?
Probably
this
not.
morning?
Oh, yes, I did hear that. I'll be watching. I'm excited to get that. Thank you.
I got my sticker. I showed it off on my live yesterday.
I got your
We
sticker,
were on that
and
one.
I'm redoing my
I
thank
was
you
talking about
shout out video.
What was wrong with the other thank you?
Okay, so I'm redoing my shout out video because I got something from Creekside Maples, and I want to really change the way that I'm saying it because I want to, do them a good shout out and have everybody go over to Creekside Maples. If you don't know already, but you probably do, Creekside Maples.
If you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know,
we got a
now you
really
know.
nice heartfelt quote from Tony and Joni over at Creekside. So I'm not gonna read it on a deal just because it was kind of a personalized post. Definitely.
Personal part goes.
Definitely.
Yeah, and they had an awesome live last
heartfelt
night.
part.
You guys, if you hadn't seen their live, you got to go back and check their live from last night. It was amazing.
Yeah, I missed that.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
It was amazing. Yeah, and they had the
It
premiere.
was right as I was cooking dinner and serving the boys, and I was like,
the baseball.
Yeah, if you are going to watch the live, watch the premiere first because the premiere came out before the live.
Yeah,
So
I
you
caught
get
the
kind of a
premiere, but not
context
the
of what's
live.
going on.
okay. Yeah, I saw that premiere of theirs. It was like a sneak peek of their land or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm telling you guys, I'm so behind on what's going on with everybody. I'm.
You have a pass.
in the dark.
You have a pass.
Yeah.
You're busy.
I'm trying to keep up.
So I see some people in here that I've never seen before.
Road
Dogs Customs
dogs.
and Mud and Mascara
Mud and Mascara
Homestead.
Homestead. I saw them before.
Yeah, I've never seen either of those. So nice to meet you, new friends.
Yes.
Okay, Steve.
Mr. Boots.
I know
will
you got to
see
get back
later.
to work. We'll see you this evening. But Mr. Boots and Bounty today at 5 o'clock, folks. He's having
Stephen
a
doesn't work. What?
I will not make that, Stephen. That is right when I'm trying to feed the boys. But I'll try.
I'm just kidding.
MJ Fishing Maniac. Hog Deer 79.
Got 10 to go to 300, so you got to make it happen, Stephen.
We finally got to 2,000 watch hours. I was like, it's forever.
I hit 100 and 200 in
You're live
Stephen's
yesterday
live
because
at
I was-
Mr.
That's
Boots and Bounty,
crazy.
so I'm hoping I'll hit 300 in one of his lives too. That'll be cool.
There you go.
That
I
would
haven't
be
even
fun.
checked our watch hours.
Just keep that train rolling.
Yeah.
Send some of those people over to me.
So,
so many people.
Well, we
so
need to
Glenn,
set
I
up
wanted to
to
let you
be
guys know
on my
that I did
live.
not yet get your sticker. Do you guys sent a sticker?
I
Oh,
got my stickers gathered together.
Apparently, if
I
you
got
guys
my
want watch hours, you just need
Jessica,
to go.
we can't hear what you're saying, Jessica.
Y'all need to go back inside.
Tell him, Danny.
We can't.
That-
It's like
you didn't
there's
get
a
it?
delay. It's terrible.
Major delay.
And then we can't hear half of what y'all say, which is unfortunate, seeing as how this is your live.
This is your live, and you're the ones we can't hear.
Right. Everybody else is coming through clearly, but you guys.
let me see.
I know that's not what you wanted to
I'm
hear,
here.
but
I'm back.
I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. So
Really, I don't
since
care.
you, since you mentioned it, Jennifer, if for anybody in the chat, this is Jennifer, but her channel is Good Times Homestead. So it doesn't say on her banner there, but it's Good Times Homestead, and I'll go ahead and put
Yeah, Jennifer, you got to change that before you come into the studio. You got to change the name.
No,
So they know
I
who you
changed
are.
it to this. You can type any of that and find my channel. It's fine.
Good Times Homestead with Jen and
Test
Steve,
it out.
even though we don't know
Try
who
it.
Steve is.
Yeah, I don't know who the Steve guy.
So
Yeah,
many
who's this
people.
Steve?
We made up Steve to make it look better.
He's in the Baker Creek video. He's in a workbench building video. He's in the chicken coop building videos. He's all
Yeah,
over the place.
but
I don't know what you're
that
supposed to talk about.
that could be your dad or your boyfriend or somebody
Not,
else.
it's
We don't know him, Steve.
not.
Who is he? I don't know who Steve is. No.
He's the other Anger that rhymes with danger.
He's the original Anger.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
The host
My
just
name was
left.
Green before.
The host
okay,
has left
folks.
the building.
everybody, we got to hold it together. Hold
All
it
right, all right. Let's give everybody wrenches now that they're gone.
Do it.
I'm holding it together. Got it.
There they are.
There they are.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesse.
I'm
come on,
gonna
get those.
try it from my phone and see if that works.
That's
We can hear
better.
it.
Come on, Jesse.
I can.
Come on.
Yes,
That's okay. That's okay. We can hear you.
We can hear you and see you, but maybe try putting your phone the other way.
Jesse, she won't
Hey,
come
there. Yeah,
There we
yeah.
Who is this?
So stupid. I have to use a phone over a computer.
Isn't it ridiculous?
But it is working a lot better.
Dumb.
It's so much better. There's no delay now.
Okay. You want that?
Nothing.
High
No,
five,
Trying to
Jessica.
prop up the phone, but you got this silly thing on the back of the phone. It ain't working very good.
That one's the old one. You gotta get the little one.
She just stood me up.
So what were you guys? You guys were saying all kinds of things that we weren't catching.
Well, shoot, I don't know now.
Okay, start from the beginning and say everything all over again.
I don't
There
know
you
what
go.
I said.
Leave it there. Don't touch it.
So you guys, I have not gotten your sticker yet. If you sent it,
Yeah,
don't
I
just-
did send it. So
Don't leave me hanging, Jessica.
how long ago?
She's not gonna do it. Okay.
like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah. Why do you say don't leave me hanging? Did you comment something? That I
Because,
missed?
no, I was trying to fist bump you. I was like, you gotta figure it out.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Boom.
everything's backwards.
I know. It's so confusing.
Yeah, I did send it. So I will need to resend it. I wonder, I think I got your address from Jesse and Lisa. So maybe.
Well, that's the problem. Everyone needs to stop getting my address from Jesse and Lisa because they give everybody the wrong address, and it goes to my 88-year-old lady across the street with a cane.
Oh, go knock on her door.
She
got
probably
it.
got your sticker.
I sent you my address. I send everybody my address, and everybody goes to Jesse and gets the wrong address.
Her
Quite
address
honestly,
is.
by the time you sent me your address, it had already been mailed out with the address that I got from Jesse and Lisa. So I didn't even like look at your email and compare addresses. I just was like, oh, well, I've already sent it. It's good.
I know we got the right address because she got our vanilla. Her neighbor didn't get the vanilla, so I know she's got the right address.
I don't have any vanilla. I make my own vanilla.
You didn't get Jesse's vanilla? Your neighbor got it?
No, she don't want my vanilla. She wants.
I never got a vanilla.
I don't want your vanilla. I mean, I do. She doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I never said I didn't want it. I just said I never got one. I never won one. I'm not buying one.
Just a quick
for me.
Okay, here you go. You can have this one.
Cody at Hog Deer is going live, I think, tomorrow doing a giveaway.
Yeah, Cody's is tomorrow. I think it's 6 p.m. Central.
Yep.
Did y'all see?
I loved his thumbnail. It was cute.
Chuck said, Jesse, could you send me Amanda's address?
I saw that. Yeah, you want to send my old neighbor something so she has to hobble across the street. And our houses are on a slight hill, so she's like with her cane trying to come down the driveway. I'm like, stop. I'll come get it.
If anybody wants a chance to win another set of those knives, we're donating one of those to Cody's deal tomorrow.
So.
Right, and he's also going to have a bottle of vanilla for somebody to win too. So if y'all want some vanilla, Danny.
Okay, I'm gonna move you. Hold on.
Hog Deer 79. Did you hear that, CNC Farm?
Cody's having a giveaway tomorrow. I'm so glad I was here to know that.
That's Cody.
Hey, Monica. I'm assuming that's Monica or Eric.
What time is it tomorrow?
So we're not
at 6 p.m. Central.
How about that? That's better. We've done a lot of moving on this live. We went from that side to this
video.
Side to there to
I didn't
there.
see anything.
Hey, Eric and Monica.
Didn't see anything about the
Hey, Monica.
I know that Gale Southern Living is having a giveaway, but I didn't know that Hog Deer was having a giveaway.
Well, and then Tony said that was the same as the Jamming Up June finale.
Oh.
That's going to be on the 30th, June 30th. And Kettle, I'm not sure on the time. I think it's 8 p.m. I don't remember. I know it's on June 30th.
That's a lot going on at one time.
Her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? She's doing the chicken dance.
She gone.
I saw.
Now, Jess and Glenn are put together people. They're all professional and whatnot. We got to act like civilized people.
Yeah, that's totally us. You nailed it.
Everybody else is doing the chicken dance and hollering, and they're just sitting there peacefully quiet, just watching the chaos go by.
Well, everything's back and forth because we're on the screen up here, but I'm trying to watch the comments over here. We're all jacked up this morning.
So those knives are great.
But we can't act jacked up.
Those knives looked great. I think I might just go buy myself some.
Those knives we got from Jesse and Lisa on their giveaway and fell in love with them, and we're like, yeah, those are awesome. So we've donated those to other live giveaways because they're awesome. And now, Jesse, I'm in trouble. You need to let Lisa know I am in big trouble.
Why?
Well, because you guys sent the cowboy candy, and it sat undisturbed in the pantry for at least 2 weeks. And finally, I busted into it, dumped it over some cream cheese with some really crunchy kettle chips, and I've quite enjoyed it. And Glenn's
it's delicious.
It's a very easy recipe, but you know what? The trick is not just jalapenos. You have to use pickled jalapenos. Regular jalapenos won't give you the same flavor. It's not the same. But
so I need to
go to Sam's Club and buy the pickled jalapenos.
You know what?
You go to Costco or Sam's and you buy the 4-pound jar of pickled jalapenos. They only cost like $4. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It's very inexpensive.
All right,
you get the pickled jalapenos, and then you add the sugar to the jalapenos, and then you have to turn it for 6 or 7 days. I can't remember, at least knows, but 6 or 7 days you have to turn it every day, and then after the 7th day, that's when you put it in your canner and can it.
Okay,
like
so
you would normal
you
anything
need to
else.
get Lisa to make a how-to video on that, so I can.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, that's totally different than how I made mine. I used my own homegrown jalapenos, and I had to make this brine, and then you end up with so much brine.
Yeah, so that's why you start off
So
with
much
the
brine.
candied jalapeno, so you don't have to go through all that. And it's
Yeah, that
it's
sounds
very
so
easy.
much
We'll do a
easier.
video on it and show you,
I've
but
ready?
it's very
I've used
simple.
the
It's
brine
amazing though, and you can
I've
cut
used
up the
brine in,
jalapenos
like,
to whatever size you want. You can leave them like they
Yeah.
are, or chop them up to smaller pieces.
Well,
But
they're phenomenal over cream cheese. I'm just saying.
yes,
And so Glenn was all mad at me yesterday because he says he hasn't had any. And I'm like, listen, they have been in the pantry for a solid 2 weeks. I'm like, is there like a time frame that I can't touch things? Because I enjoyed it and I kept eating it. And now we're on the second jar and I've already put a good hurting on it. So it's just good.
No, it's good.
I like it. And Jen,
yeah,
I'm
like
jealous.
that, like
I'm
what she
going
has
to
there,
Sam's
what
Club
Jennifer
now.
has. You can buy the 4-pound or 5-pound deal of jalapenos. You add your sugar, and I don't remember how many cups it is. You add your sugar, and you have to stir it every single day. Turn it every single day for about a week, and then you pull it out, jar it up, and can it like you normally would anything else.
That
So
sounds
I'm gonna
good.
go
Madam
get an
Master.
entire thing of Sam's Club jalapenos, and I'm gonna make cowboy candy with all of those jalapenos.
I gotta try that. Yeah, because I'm not growing that many jalapenos this year.
Well, we
I have
grew
been
a lot,
challenged.
but we like jalapenos. We eat jalapenos a lot, like in our salsa, obviously on cream cheese, on our burgers, on our tacos, breakfast, like you name it, we've got jalapenos on it. So we did put a lot of jalapenos in. But
What happened to the whole right side of our pan?
Candied jalapenos, I'm doing it. What does that say? The brine is good canned when you do a roast or ribs with the brine on it. It's delicious. Ah.
Well, yeah, I use mine as like a meat tenderizer.
This is what we use.
Yeah.
And they're already sliced, and they're pickled, and you're going to use these with your sugar.
Okay.
And then you can them, and you're good to go. But the flavor with the spice with the pickled is much better than just regular garden jalapenos that haven't been pickled.
I thought that my homegrown jalapenos tasted delicious.
No, I'm not saying they don't, but it's a different flavor.
Jen ate it. She did it.
I say
She just did that.
Fork full of jalapenos.
Oh my
She just
god!
ate a pickled
Slices.
jalapeno?
Next, she's gonna go.
No, 6 slices.
Yeah, pickled jalapenos aren't nearly as hot as regular jalapenos out of the garden.
Say, I love our homegrown jalapenos, but I am happy to make a lot of cowboy candy off of store-bought.
And also the jalapeno jelly, if you like it on cream cheese, Jessica, that jalapeno jelly she made on the cream cheese was amazing. It wasn't hot at all.
Well, that's where it all started because Tastefully Simple, years ago, we came across the Tastefully Simple sweet jalapeno pepper jam, and it's amazing. And so we put it over cream cheese. That's where I got the idea with the cowboy candy. But yeah, jalapeno pepper jam would be definitely good.
Now breathe fire, Jen.
Yeah,
so Bland says that their pickled ones are pretty spicy.
As her breath gets taken away from her while she's trying to talk.
Go get some milk.
I breathed in. No, I'm good. No, but after
So Bland's the reason they're still spicy is
can eat
because they got the
anything.
seeds and the veins. If you take the seeds and veins out, then that might lessen the heat.
See, for my homegrown jalapenos, I want the heat. For the cowboy candy, I'll be happy with or without the heat.
And you can make them both either way, whether you want it with heat or without heat.
No. Cody says now I gotta go eat lunch. Go eat something.
Yes, most definitely. I need to get off here and fix some food.
Glenn was talking yesterday about some barbecue ideas he had, and my mouth was just like salivating as he talked about all this.
Well, we're
stuff
gonna
he's
be
gonna put. Don't spill it. And what you're gonna do?
We're supposed to be a part of a barbecue
Gotta get rid of
collab that Tony over at Kettle Kitchen and I think 9 Acres, Dale over at 9 Acres, and them are going to be doing. So
I'm going to be in that too.
I've got my idea.
So,
I've got to
didn't
make
know
it
there
like
was such
ahead of
a
time though to
such a collab.
make it 3 or 4 times, make sure it's great.
All the food talk. Yeah, I'm hungry too. I was planning on trying to eat good today, but now I'm really thinking about some cowboy candy and cowboy cheese.
I'm always hungry. So.
Me too. I am.
You guys,
hungry
that's
like
why
my
we
own
garden, because we love food. Hello.
Yeah.
Monica says I think we're doing the barbecue fire also.
I am too.
It's not a we. It'll have our name on it, but it's totally Glenn. I don't do much on the grill. That's all his area of expertise, not mine.
My little girl said she lost her tooth last night.
So is that the collab, Tony? Last chance cook off?
My belly's growling now. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Literally.
The end of summer.
Perfect.
I want to get it.
Monica says it'll be
Tony.
Eric, not her.
But
it's
the
Tony.
part that I am involved on that is the taste testing. I do a very good job at that.
I know that's real.
What is that? Oh, thanks for the plug on my giveaway live, guys. It's going to be big. I have about 25 items, several channels added to what I already had. I have to go meet some friends for lunch.
Perfect.
See y'all
Have
later.
a good day, Cody.
Yeah, go eat while we're all starving.
Go eat you some jalapeno tacos or something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm withering
good.
away as we speak.
No doubt. I'm involved in a fast that I didn't sign up for.
I got to take my kids and go
And
get
how are you involved in
fireworks later.
Fireworks. It's not
Yeah.
July 4th yet.
They want
they're selling.
fireworks.
They are for sale, so that means it's time to buy.
Jen,
Yeah,
you're
because I'm so
crazy.
disappointed. We're going down this weekend to move in my dad, and we're gonna get there on Saturday, and they're doing all the fireworks on Saturday. We're gonna be exhausted from driving all day, and then that's when they're gonna do all the fireworks. I'm like, if I can keep my eyes open.
Oh, yes. That is tough.
Jennifer,
Fasting is
poquito
good
loco.
for being
Oh, yes.
mindful of how much I eat, but it is not good feeling. But I try to do it to keep myself in check.
It's good feeling. There's
The next morning on the scale,
well,
that's
there's
it.
2 different kinds of fasting. Some people
I'm
fast
talking
just to
about weight
lose
loss
weight,
fast. Yes.
and then some people fast when they feel called by the Lord or led by the Lord to fast.
That's a totally different
And
fast.
that kind of fasting is completely different for me, because then I'm being fed by the Lord, and it's just
I didn't know that there was
different.
any other kind of fasting. I thought that's what you do when you fast.
What's that?
Well,
I didn't know that there was any other kind of fasting. I thought fasting was when you give up food and you spend time in the Word and prayer.
yeah, but it depends on what your purpose is. There's been plenty of times where I've fasted and been in prayer, and the whole purpose of the fast is for Christ, whereas other times that I will fast for a period of time just simply because I ate terrible the day before and need to get back in check.
Right, or there's the intermittent fasting where people don't eat. They only eat between certain times and stuff like that.
We've done a lot of intermittent fasting, but I will say it's not a true intermittent fasting, because technically when you're doing an intermittent fasting, based on the rules that they put out there, you're only supposed to have black coffee, or some say you can have stevia, but I still put creamer, or in our case, goat milk in our coffee. So it technically breaks the fast, but
You and me both, Chuck. You and me both.
Yeah, we'll do fast where we'll fast all day, or we'll just fast until like a certain point and then just eat lunch or just eat dinner or whatever. But those fasts are strictly for self-control, weight balancing purposes on that.
Well, I have inadvertently been intermittent fasting today so far. So
yeah,
are you withering away in front of us?
Yes, I'm about to.
I think
pass
we've
out.
probably already lost 5 pounds, Danny.
Yeah.
My idea of a good
stomach's
fast. My idea of a good fast is how fast will that drive-through line move? That's what I call a fast.
Of course. I fast. I go faster than intermittent. Yeah, well, I go fast to eat more food so often that I need to fast away from food sometimes. I drink water or unsweetened tea. No sugar needed. Yeah, I don't do a lot of sugar, but I do.
Me too, Monica.
I just don't see. I don't think it's good for your body to just go without food like that for that purpose. I mean, it just seems like eating smaller portions would probably help, but not eating at all, I'm not sure that's good for your body.
I can't prove anything because I'm not able to prove it, but according to what people have said on the intermittent fasting is basically when you're eating, your body is doing work to process that food, whereas when you do an intermittent fast, your body isn't having to work, so it's able to repair itself. I can't prove if it's true or not. I will say that when I'm more on like not eating 3 big meals a day and maybe I'll like do some fasting, I don't feel as like bloated and run down. So my body feels good doing it.
I've heard of people water fasting, and that's just, to be honest, too much.
Do what?
No, thank you.
I've heard of people do water for when they do a water fast for like a week. I'm like, I don't know how you can survive a week doing the water.
I'm currently trying to fast from sodas. Like, so I'm still drinking tea and coffee, but I'm trying not to drink any carbonated or sodas.
Well, what I meant was they would only drink water for 4 or 5 days. Like,
well, that's kind of the idea, is to drink more water, you know.
they
But
they would have water. And
no, I gotta have something with sustenance.
I did it for 3 days.
There's no way.
Yeah, I make it to day 2, and then I'm like, okay, gotta eat, done.
Yeah,
that would end up being worse for me than just eating small portions, because when I finally did eat, I'd be like,
yeah, you
so
definitely
hungry.
can't fast and then go pig out. It kind of ruins it.
Right, exactly.
So Glenn's got a point. How do we go from talking about feasting on cowboy candy to
I don't
fasting?
know, probably because
everybody try not to talk about food.
Somebody's cutting out. Who was talking?
That was Jerusha.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody's trying not to think about food. Maybe that's why.
Right? It's making me hungry just talking about fasting. I can't.
You're already hungry.
I'm about to make salad in a minute with some homemade ranch dressing.
So Danny, are you going without carbonated drinks altogether and only drinking tea and coffee? And is that tea sweetened or unsweetened?
It is sweetened. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
So
the
that's
sugar.
really-
The sugar is what's probably getting you.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I hate to shut it down with 18 people still in here, but we do have to actually get to work and do something still today.
Busy, right?
I know,
Yeah,
believe it
work.
or not,
Off
Jesse,
here.
we got to do something.
The we is really me.
Yeah, my work's already done. I did mine this morning.
Yeah, I got for dishes.
I've done everything
Glenn,
I'm going to do
already told us
outside
you
until
do your
this
best
evening.
work in the recliner.
No, I got to get some work orders sent over and make some calls. So we're going to call it a day. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And make sure you take the opportunity to check out anybody's channels that you saw that you haven't seen before. How are you?
Go check out Danny.
And Willow.
She's 11 away, Danny.
Hey.
And now.
One last shout out. Bland's Promised Land is less than 29, I think, away from reaching their next milestone.
Wow.
Please go check them out. They are hilarious, excellent Texans. That's all I can say.
Very, very good.
Bland's
Well, you guys all
Promised
have a
Land
great
Ranch.
week, and we'll catch you in other lives and here next week, Lord willing.
Bye, everyone.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.